Hello, my name is Jerry with EPL Solutions, and today we're going to be talking about UV lining and how it has changed the CIPP industry forever. Traditional lining since 1971 has been with a polyester felt that's wetted out with an epoxy resin, vinyl ester resin, polyester resin. It takes a lot of skill to get your mixture right, to understand the weather, the temperature, the work time, the cure time, the ratios of mixing two parts together. Everything has to be perfect in order for this to go into the ground and be installed correctly. And as soon as it mixes, it's go time, it is crunch time. Your crew better know what they're doing because it has to start here and end here. There is no in between. There is no relaxing. It is a stressful situation, especially if something happens during the process. If your cowl tube doesn't fully invert, if the liner doesn't fully invert, the clock is still ticking. And as you can imagine, there are a lot of inconsistencies in the ground waiting to be discovered from traditional lining being put in by someone who may not know what they're doing or by someone who just had it all stacked up against him and it wasn't his fault at all. Just something happened that wasn't in his control. UV lining gives you control and consistency over factors that were otherwise outside of your control. This is a good example of a very well-constructed material. This is a 4-to-1 ratio, 2-part epoxy. If you have the skills to put this in, I highly recommend, if you're getting into lining, learn how to do this, get a mentor, and do this the old-fashioned way. At least have that under your belt and know how to do it. Even though UV lining solves all these issues, it's a good skill set to have. UV lining solves the temperature issue by not being a temperature dependent cure. You are using UV lights, ultraviolet rays at a certain frequency to cure the epoxy, which you don't even have to mix. This epoxy comes in a single container that you pour into your material and you wet it out just like your process of mixing, but you're not on the clock. It will not cure unless UV lights hit it. So your control over that curing time is all dependent on your IMS ProCure, your UV machine, to be the catalyst to activate the curing time. You have complete dominance over your lining install. This material, we wetted out some time ago, and we decided to cure it last week. This material has been saturated and inside of a box lined with the UV protecting coating for quite a while, and we just haven't decided to cure it yet. You can do the same thing with UV lining on the job. You decide when you're going to cure it. This material has been cured for 3 years. The reason EPL Solutions is selling UV epoxy is because it doesn't shrink and it has much more resilience to the host pipe, meaning that it does mechanically lock to PVC and ABS pipe, much like what we're used to seeing in traditional lining, 2-part epoxies. This is a very, very good cure, and I would trust this. The same way I would trust a UV installation with UV epoxy. It has proven itself over the 3 years of testing, and we're hoping that we can apply this to a wide variety of materials. For now, trust EPL Solutions that we've done all of our testing with our felt materials, our fiberglass materials. Call us and we will help you select the right properties, the right materials to have to cure with your UV machine. Now that we've talked about the numerous advantages to the UV lining material, let's talk about the whole process and get into what machine you actually should be using, what machines will work with the material. We decided to support the IMS ProCure series because we're an IMS repair center in California here. And it made a lot of sense because we firmly believe that we should support what we sell. not just sell it and hope someone else can take over anything that you guys need in terms of repair work to be done. There are some machines out there that if anything were to happen to the camera head, the light, the power supply, the monitor, anything at all, the whole system gets boxed up in a crate and shipped out to the one repair center in the country that fixes them. So please contact us for anything IMS. But the thing that really separates this UV curing system apart from others is, let's go through them. There's a lot of them. The push rod is very strong, easy to push. It's reinforced. There's fiberglass duct rod or material inside this push rod. So when they say you can use these for long runs, the disadvantage to a lot of other products is that you literally can't push the push rod out far enough. This has a reinforced rod. You can push this thing out all the way. It just wants to go. This is really designed well with the user in mind, because on some machines, when you reel it back in, the push rod could skip out of the spool and get stuck between these two. It's a little hard to do it with this one, but on some machines that's the case. On those machines I'm mentioning, they're encapsulated by a framework that if that were to happen and it gets caught between these two housings, then you have to disassemble the whole reel to fix it. This is very, very well thought out, much more user-friendly. This has a camera head assembly, UV curing head assembly that detaches, and you can put on two different ones from 4-inch up to 20-inch pipe. The one machine does the full range because of the push rod and because of the different heads you can put on the end of it. One factor that IMS did is a through air connection through the inside of everything, to where the air will blow in the middle of the UV light bulb, keeping it cool enough with a little bit less air than typical. And there's a sensor on the machine that will turn everything off, stop the curing process if the light heads get too hot. It will automatically shut off, stop the pulling process, stop the curing process, wait for it to cool off, then the technician can re-engage without damaging the light head, the push rod, the camera, without stopping the pressure behind the installed material. Everything is for the sake of you guys. The power supply simply requires a 110 outlet to plug in. We don't need a generator. We don't need 220. We can plug into a 15 amp breaker. The monitor and the display can detach, and you can put this somewhere separate off to the side. Even the power supply is modular. You can take this off and put it off to the side somewhere too, and make this fit into a smaller space. The motorized assembly mounts to the reel right here for storage, making it easy and safe. It has a dual motor pulling device as opposed to a single that's on a lot of systems. And it comes retrofitted for cam lock. So most guys in the American market are using this fitting already. And it's proprietary for the industry. So you get to use this on a variety of different systems that you already have. You don't have to get a drum, the machine, the whole thing. You can actually itemize what you need to get. Once you assemble everything, you then plug it into the power in the wall and energize it up. Let the computer boot up. You calibrate your cure. You actually put into the computer what the dimensions are of the pipe you're curing. 4-inch, 6-inch, 8-inch, the thickness of the material, the distance you go, where your transition from 4 to 6 is, or 6 to 8 or whatever. You can increase or decrease your pulling time, your curing time. You can decide to go back and cure it again. You can pause it. Not only is it built well, it's easy to use, easy training. It's pretty consistent for a variety of different technicians and different aspects of the lining industry, meaning that if you're doing street work, if you're doing plumbing work, if you're doing hospitals, commercial centers, if you're doing a lot of 8-inch pipe, this is the one machine you need to do all of it. There are thousands of contractors getting into lining, and most of them don't have enough experience to do the traditional lining at a high enough success rate to where it will benefit the world's infrastructure. UV lining is the answer for consistent repair work to be done best to the ability of you and the machinery. If you want to get into UV lining, we're here for you. We will get you the product that you need, the training that you need, and the service and support that you need. Call us at 714-453-9760, and we're happy to help you make the best choice for you that fits your needs, whether it's ambient or UV lining materials, ambient machinery, UV lining machinery. Not one size fits all, but there's a solution for you. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Jerry.